on Scrap with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and today we're here with step 5 of Twinkle Twinkle. Yes, we're finally getting the Twinkle Twinkle out, and we're just having so much fun with this. So today we got step 5. The PDF is going to be in our description box, so please go look for it there. And we're going to talk about a whole bunch of other things. But first, let's do our shout-outs. Stephanie at Everyday Sewist and Katie Cat Studios. Both of these channels are just awesome. You guys got to go check these guys out. And if you like what you see there, you know, please hit their subscribe button and tell them that Brenda from Conquering My Scrapware sent you, right? Yeah, we're just looking for all these fun people to go give shout outs to. Also, if you could make comments, thumbs up, share, like, subscribe. Hype is new, which is, I don't know if everybody knows that you can hype a video or not. And hit the bell so you don't miss content on our channel as well. In this way helps drive our analytics, and we get to give more free patterns out to more quilters. So we drop 3 videos a week with free patterns, so we're hoping that we get a lot of quilters interested. We also have a Facebook group, and we have all sorts of fun chats and fabric exchanges by country. The admins have asked that you answer the questions and agree to the rules. And also, what's exclusive to the Facebook group is we host a virtual sewing room under the Discord app. And once you're in the Facebook group, then you just ask the admins for an invitation and they send it to you. And it's a great place to come hang out and sew for the day, and it's open 24/7. So, also I speak for free to quilting groups and quilting gals, so if you're looking to get a hold of me, you can either email me, and that's under the About tab on my YouTube channel, or you can message me through the Facebook group. And I would love to make the best accommodation I can to speak to your quilting guild or group. Also, if you're looking for, if you find a shout out, if you guys see a quilting channel that's working hard and having fun and coming up with some really cool content, please send them my way. I'd be happy to give them a shout out. Just don't tell them we're sneaking around and doing something nice for people, okay? So don't tell them. Also, we've got a couple of challenges coming up, and that's also in the show notes as well. We've got the Quilters Challenge, and that involves Kelly from Kelly's Quilts and Plus, Sam Alberts, Deb from Sewing with Debbie, Laura Lynn from the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, Michelle from Bits and Pieces, and myself. And we're making up challenges for each other as well as our viewers. And I can hardly wait to see what you guys come up with. Like, it's going to be so much fun what we're doing here. So I guess I'm coming out first, and that date is in the show notes, and that's going to be a little bit of fun and craziness for us to do. Also, I'm part of the Back to Basics quilting, and Donna from Handmade by Ying with Donna is leading that one. And wow, she's got some very talented people on board to help us go back to teach lessons that are going back to basics. So I'm involved with that one as well. And there's a whole list of people. And if you want more information, right, that you would go back to Donna's announcement video as to who is doing what when. But that's a pretty awesome little lineup that she's got going there. So I'm really impressed to be included on that. Also, let's see. Yeah, we did the Zoom Sew dates, first Saturday of the month at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, because I'm in Alberta, Canada. I think that's it. So come on in, let's get to the sewing of step 5. Okay, we're out the sewing machine, and I'm just going to quickly cut one out to do. I'm not going to make you watch all 4. Now with this one, if you're making a queen, you need 12. And if you're making a twin, you need 10. If you're making a couch, you need 8. And if you're making a crib, you need 5. 5. Okay. 5. That doesn't sound right. Might be 6. Oh well. Anyways. So this is what we're doing now. Shorter stitch length, sharp needle, so important. Oh my goodness. Let's make sure we've got that tape as your friend, because things go wrong sometimes when you're paper piecing. Oh, what do you call it? A tracing wheel. I've already marked my pattern here, you know, with my tracing wheel, so I can see where I have to line up. And you got a stitch ripper handy, you know, your add a quarter ruler, you know, a little scissor, everything. You got all that kind of stuff here. So I have laid out this in such a way that I think I've got just enough to cover. And I've got just, hold it up to the light. As long as you got coverage on all 4 sides, you should be good. Let's get that pin back. A pin. There we go. Now, what we're going to do is, because this is symmetrical, we don't have to start with A2, but we can. Just to... Okay, so we're just going to bend this over and trim. Trimming is so important when you're coming to this foundation paper piecing. You can trim by estimate too, right? You know, with your scissors, you don't have to be, as long as it's like a 1/4 inch, you know. You don't want too much hanging over, right? So here I go. I put the green on first because it's there. And I want, this is going to be big and it's fine. Okay, get this out of the way. Oh, turn this on, that might be helpful. Sharp needle, short the stitch length, and you hold it in place and tack it, just like that. Just to make sure that it stays down in place. Now I would do, as I'm sewing this, I would do several at once. I wouldn't just do one at a time, right? But that's me. And then I would do the other side. And just flip that over. I got a nice cute little red posy. Okay, and I know I got lots of fabric. I made sure these pieces were a little big on the big side. That's okay. Hold it down, just let it tack up and down the same spot. And what happens is that knots your thread, right? Especially on these vintage machines, you don't necessarily have a, you know, a tack stitch or something. You know, if you want it to be tacked in place, that's the way you do it. Okay, let's get this one done now. Let's pull this pin because we probably don't need it. Okay, and then we go to the other side. And I'm going to trim off a bunch of stuff, all right, like so. And again with this piece, the darker edges are black. This is kind of like what you have to kind of keep in mind. You want them to be black, right? You know, it's important that they are black, just so you get a secondary pattern coming, right? So there we go. Yeah. Whew. I was reading a comment this morning because we're filming this in January, mid-January. I was reading a comment this morning about whistling or, you know, humming or whatever. I do that and I don't even know I'm doing it most days. And I'm like, wow, I'm really sorry if it's bothering you guys, but I do my best trying not to whistle, but, or sing or hum or anything else like that, but you know, it is what it is. I'm doing my best here. I'm trying not to annoy people, but, and I know it disrupts what I'm saying too, right? But we're trying our best. There we go. Now, there. There, now. Okay, so I got all that first round done. There. And now I'm going to trim so I can put the second one down. Now, the second one, let's do the long, narrow edges first. Let's do those. I know I'm not sewing these in numerical order, but that's okay. You don't have to. Sometimes people get, oh no, you gotta sew this one. No. If it's symmetrical like this, and you're not going to be creating things You know, like, yeah, and then it's just a suggestion. And that's what it is, a suggestion, right? Not anything you must follow. You must do this, you know, and this is the only way. Oh, no. I mean, sometimes, yes, that happens, and you've got to sew it a certain way, but on something like these, no, you can go out of order as you're doing the round. Like, for instance, you can't go A1 and then A10, right? Because you're missing a bunch of fabric in between. And it's just to keep you with what you're doing. It's to keep track of where you are on the block. That's why people number them. But, okay. Get the long, narrow stuff done first. And here. Oh. Yeah, we have had a very unusual January so far. It's been warm. There's a couple of days it's melted and everything, and it's like, for Edmonton, Alberta, that's very unusual. Nothing melts until May, some days, or some years, but yeah, we do have some warmer temperatures in March and April, depending on the year. But yeah, this is a very strange year. Very, very strange. See, these things never look like anything until you're done. Do they now? They always look so weird, I think. Anyways. And we'll get the other side. Get that one up right away. As I'm drawing these, I try to draw them so that they're easier to follow, but occasionally you get ones that are just, they're not happy. They're not happy with you or anything else. Okay, let's go right here. There. Now, still not looking like anything because it's never, they look junky until they're trimmed in full, right? I mean, which is kind of strange, but I don't think, that's why I didn't like foundation paper piecing at first. But once I got the hang of it, then it was like, oh, you trim them up to be beautiful. Okay, because otherwise they look weird. They just look weird. And are we going to have a teaching moment? Oh, no, it didn't flip. Okay. We don't have a teaching moment. I felt it flip. I would have bet money that it flipped. If it does ever flip on you and you've sewed it wrong, or it just is like, oh gosh, what have I done? You pick from the side with the fabric, right? That's so important you pick that way. Now, I'm just going to get the last bits, and these are black. One of the things I do find with foundation paper piecing, I do a lot at once. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Some allergy is bothering me, but anyways. You do a lot of it at once. Like, you don't do like just one piece at a time, right? So I'm using a black on black, and I'm trying to line it up. This point is at the biggest point here, so you kind of line it up the best you can. You know, it is, you do what you can and you hope for the best. Okay. Here, and it's a little oversized. We already knew that. Okay, and we got this. And these are, what, 3.5? Yeah, 3.5 inch squares that I just cut in half to get these pieces big enough, right? Because you don't want them too small, right? Because then you have to add fabric. But if they're little on the big side, that's okay. Now, would the last two get done? There. Oops. Sorry, I whistled. I started to whistle. I'm trying to be very kind of self-conscious about my whistling now. Because I know people don't like it. My dad was a whistler. And, you know, I guess it was fine for him, you know, farmer out in the field whistling, you know, okay, that's okay. The only thing that hurt him was the dog. So he was all good. You know, the dog was fine with the whistling, so Dad never had to stop and worry about it, I guess. Okay, last two pieces, and we're trimmed and ready to go. There we go. Just like that. My only complaint with this machine is, there we go. Get that all flattened out. There. Last one. Hooray, hooray. Okay. Now, you would take yours over the iron, give it a good press, right? Make sure that it's all lying nice and flat, which mine is. I'm just going to now run around, and you want to do that victory lap, stay stitching, you know, just to make sure it's all good. And this has to measure 3.5 by 4.5 when you're done. Okay, there we go. And I'm even going to show you how to trim it. Yes. Okay, we know this has to be 3.5 by 4.5, right? Okay, what I do when I start, I'm going to get this off to the side here. I'm going to put my quarter, there's two lines. One is the seam allowance and one is the stitching line. So I want to put a 1/4 inch marks on my stitching line, and I want to just, like, you know, cut it, trim it that way. 1 and 2. There we go. Now, here's where we start to measure. 3.5. You want to put the 3.5 line there. 3.5. And everything, ooh, perfectly lines up. Wow, that's impressive. And this was 4.5. So you put this at your 4.5. You make sure it's all there, and then you check to see whether the 1/4 inch is on line. Yes, it is. Perfect. So there you go. Let's get to our ta-da moment. So here's our cute little cornerstone that we did. Now this is 3.5 by 4.5, right? And it's kind of a transition between the inner cornerstones and the outer the very corner of the outer cornerstone. So this one is kind of an odd little shape, but it's worth it. Now, I had to make 12 for queen, 10 for king, 8 for couch, and 6 for a crib. So depending on what size you're doing, this is how many you're going to need of these. So we just had a lot of fun with these, and they're kind of bright and dark all at the same time. But remember, you are making a secondary pattern with these. So be aware of that. So anyways, I hope everything is going great for you and you're sewing along with us on this Twinkle Twinkle. We're having so much fun watching all the pieces come in the Facebook group and, you know, online. So you guys, I hope you stay well and you take care until we see each other again. Okay, bye! My husband and I would like to thank you for all of your support and watching our videos and sharing and liking. It has just been, you've put us on such an amazing journey and we are having so much fun. I hope everything is going so well in your life and you know, your 1/4 inch is perfect, everything is working out for you. And we're just so happy to be part of your life and you having, like I say, you're watching us. I was just so thrilled that you're doing that. So I want to say goodbye and I want to thank you with all my heart. Okay? Take care. Bye.